While the Russia we all know and love sprawls across vast lands in Europe, the Middle East, and across Asia, sharing borders with notable countries, on the less explored side of Russia, hidden away in their own autonomous republics, are 22 of these republics, true countries within a country, each with its own official language, institution, and control over natural resources. These republics offer a unique and diverse view of Russia, far beyond the stereotype we often perceive. They have distinct and fascinating cultures, a mosaic of traditions that is sadly slowly disappearing. The reasons behind this complex phenomenon I will tell you about from now on, but instead of tackling all 22 republics at once, let's explore some of the most intriguing ones. Starting with Crimea, a Russian republic with an internationally disputed status. In 2014, after the Ukrainian Revolution ousted President Viktor Yanukovych, Russia annexed Crimea, triggering a conflict involving separatist forces and the Russian military. This region, marked by its turbulent history, is a fascinating example of the complexities of the world's economies. Geopolitics shaping Russia's the controversial Crimea-wide referendum deemed illegal by Ukrainian constitutions addressed the crucial issue of reunification, with Russia officially fielding over 90% support. However, the vote was marred by boycott by many Ukrainian loyalists. It was declared legitimate by Western governments, and despite the controversies, Russia formally annexed Crimea on March 18, 2014, incorporating the Republic of Crimea and the federal city of Sevastopol as Russia's 84th and 85th federal subjects. After these events, Ukraine decided to cut the North Crimean Canal, which previously supplied 85% of Crimea's drinking water. This move resulted in a drastic reduction in the cultivated area in the region from 130,000 kilometers in 2003 to just 14,000 in 2017. Crimea's complex history, coupled with its disputed status, make this region a place of particular interest. Crimea is a geographically unique region connected to Ukraine only by a narrow isthmus. It is only 5 kilometers wide and almost makes it an island. Crimea is also characterized by majestic mountains and a subtropical climate. These elements are often unexpected when considering Russia. Crimean Tatars are also notable. This is a predominantly Muslim ethnic minority that accounted for around 10% of the population in 2014. This community has deep roots dating back to the end of the Middle Ages, contributing to the cultural diversity of the region. However, Crimean Tatars faced a harsh reality. When they were forcibly expelled to Central Asia by the government of Joseph Stalin as a form of collective punishment after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Crimean Tatars began to return to the region. Today, the demographic composition shows that 16% of the population is Ukrainian and 68% is Russian. Returning to the topic of climate, it may be interesting to explore a republic that fits better to our traditional expectations of Russia. In this model, the cities that stand out the most for being among the coldest places in the world are Yakutia and Sakha. It is the largest political entity in the world that is not a sovereign nation. If you consider yourself a country, Yakutia would occupy the 8th position, located between Argentina and India in terms of territorial extension. The population in this region is diverse, being predominantly composed of Yakuts, who represent around 50%, followed by 38% of Russians and various other minorities. This region has 2 official languages, Russian and Yakut. Yakut is spoken by approximately 40% of the population and belongs to the Yakut language family. They are notable for being the group most similar to those of East Asia in all of Russia. Their traditions include colorful clothing, a unique cuisine, and vibrant summer festivals. The IAC highlighted a significant event in which families gather to enjoy pancakes, horse meat, dried or fried fish, and kumis, a fermented drink made from mare's milk. The capital of Yakutia is the freezing cold. Yats considered the coldest city in the world, with an average temperature of 8°C and minimums that can reach -38°C in January. In addition to the extreme climate the city is built on continuous permafrost and is famous for hosting diamond mines, such as the Diamond Mine. 2017 Yakutia is not only noted for its cold weather and vibrant festivals, but also for its rich diamond reserves. Bashkortostan, for its part, is another intriguing republic with a population of approximately 4 million people, making it the most populous among the Russian republics located in the vicinity of Kazakhstan coast. It has an impressive geography made up of 27 lakes, 13,000 rivers, and diverse mountains. The ethnic composition includes 30% Basques, 36% Russians, 25% Tatars, and 10% Russians. 99% of various other minorities. Bashkortostan is recognized for its rich culture and history, especially around dance music and folk festivals. The capital city is located where approximately a quarter of the population lives, and is where you will find the largest oil refineries in Russia. Speaking of religion, we cannot fail to highlight the most diverse republic in Russia, of which they are. This republic is in all the north of Azerbaijan, with a coast on the Caspian Sea, houses more than 30 groups, ethnic and 81 nationalities, making it considered one of the most linguistically and ethnically diverse republics in Russia. Although it is ethnically diverse, it is not that diverse in terms of religion. Yes, that, or 83% of the population follows the same religion, which is not the predominant Orthodox Christianity in the rest of Russia. Instead, the people of that you on the island to be what you can attribute to the geographical location of the region and proximity to the Middle East, from which it is a relatively warm region with an average temperature of 26°C in July. Now moving on to other exotic republics of Russia, we have those located along the extensive coast of the Black Sea. What is fascinating in this region is that it is possible to cultivate yourself, which is very surprising. This region is rich in natural resources such as oil, natural gas, gold, silver, stone, and iron. However, despite these resources, it remains one of the poorest parts of Russia, with a per capita income of around $38,000. This is a pattern seen in many Russian republics where, despite having access to valuable natural resources, the generation of wealth does not correspond to what was expected. The centralization of power in Russia began 2 decades ago with the election of Vladimir Putin on March 26, 2000. This was the beginning of a period of extensive reforms to centralize authority in the federal government and align all the laws of the republics with the Russian constitution. Putin established federal districts to exercise federal control over the republics. And over the years, there was a gradual loss of autonomy for the republican governments. In June 2018, a law was passed that reduced the status of the Russian language at the expense of other official languages in the republics. All of this suggests a determination by Putin to completely eliminate the republics, their cultures and languages, in order to obtain total control over all of Russia. In this situation, the republics may not survive much longer. Due to its unique geographical location, its territorial extension encompasses a variety of climates and landscapes, from the vast steppes of Siberia to the dense forests of the taiga and the majestic mountains of the Caucasus. In some of the coldest cities, the extreme weather can reach 50 degrees below zero, and in other parts the temperatures can reach 30 degrees positive. The country has an extremely large population with 144 million inhabitants. Its population density varies significantly throughout the country, being the most populated urban areas highlighting the capital Moscow and the city of St. Petersburg. But if we went back in time, perhaps we would not think that one day some Slavic tribes would unite and become one of the strongest countries in Europe. It all started with Slavic tribes living in villages and fighting each other until in the 9th century a city called Kiev became the center of a powerful state known as Kiev's Russia. It was there that these tribes began to learn from the Byzantines changing their ideas and adopting Orthodox Christianity as their main religious creativity was a period of renewal cultural and religious growth. In the 10th century, Russia witnessed the arrival of the Mongols, led by the Golden Horde under the command of Gangda and his successors. This invasion marked a challenging period in Russian history as the Mongols imposed their rule over Russian territory. It was a time of hardship for the Russians who faced Mongol oppression and exploitation. However, despite the adversities, Russia did not give up and resisted Mongol rule over time. Russia began to gradually recover from this grim period. This recovery did not happen immediately, but through a long process of resistance adaptation.